The gap in the days. David leans against the rusted frame of his pickup truck, parked crooked in the gravel driveway of his small house off the highway, the engine ticking soft as it cools under the sprawling indigo sky of late October. He wipes grease from his hands with a rag, the smell of oil clinging to his skin, a familiar comfort after a long shift at the garage. The day's work still buzzing in his muscles, his knuckles raw from turning wrenches on stubborn bolts. The house sits low and squat, its siding chipped and gray, windows streaked with dust, a single bulb flickering over the porch, casting jagged shadows across the patchy lawn. He lives alone, has for years, a quiet life carved out of routine. Work, a cold beer on the couch, the hum of crickets through the open screen door as he watches the stars blink awake over the flat stretch of fields beyond his yard. Tonight feels no different. The air crisp and dry, a faint wind rustling the brittle grass, carrying the distant rumble of trucks barreling down the interstate a mile off. He steps inside, kicks off his boots by the door, their soles caked with dirt, the hardwood floor creaking soft under his socks as he shuffles to the kitchen, the linoleum peeling at the edges, yellowed from decades of wear. He grabs a beer from the fridge, its door rattling as he pulls it open, the can cold against his palm, condensation beating quick in the warm air of the unheated house. The living room welcomes him with its familiar clutter, a sagging couch piled with faded cushions, a coffee table littered with empty cans and crumpled receipts, a TV in the corner, its screen dark and silent, reflecting the dim glow of a lamp. Perched on a wobbly stand, he drops onto the couch, pops the tab, takes a long sip, the bitter fizz sharp on his tongue, and leans back, staring out the window at the stars, their light piercing the black, steady and cold, a map he's traced 1,000 nights without thinking. He finishes the beer, sets the can down, its clink loud in the quiet, and steps outside again, drawn to the porch, the night pulling at him, the stars brighter, sharper than they should be. He stands there, hands shoved in his pockets, breath fogging faint in the chill, watching the sky, the constellations familiar, but somehow off, their edges too crisp, too vivid, a prickle crawling up his spine as he squints upward. A flash cuts through the dark, white and blinding, searing across his vision, a low hum vibrating in his chest, his ears, his skull growing louder, deeper, until it's all he feels, the ground unsteady beneath his feet. He blinks hard, raises a hand to shield his eyes, but the light swallows him, a flood that drowns the stars, the house, the night, his heart slamming against his ribs as the hum peaks, a pressure that presses him down, then nothing, a void, black and absolute, wiping him clean. Morning light spills through the window, soft and gray, stirring him awake on the couch, his neck stiff, legs tangled in a blanket. He doesn't remember grabbing. The room quiet save for the faint tick of the clock on the wall, its hands pointing to 7:12 a.m. He sits up, rubs his face, the stubble rough under his palms, his clothes wrinkled, the same flannel shirt and jeans from last night, smelling faintly of sweat and oil. His head throbs, a dull ache pulsing behind his eyes, but he shakes it off, chalks it up to too much beer, too little sleep, the night a blur of stars and wind. He can't quite piece together. He stumbles to the bathroom, splashes water on his face, the cold shock clearing his thoughts, stares at his reflection in the cracked mirror, eyes bloodshot, skin pale, but nothing unusual, just a tired man staring back. He grabs his keys, heads to the truck, the engine rumbling to life as he pulls onto the highway, the fields stretching flat and brown under a heavy sky, the day unfolding like any other. The garage buzzes with noise, the clatter of tools against metal, the hiss of an air compressor in the corner, the smell of gasoline and rubber thick in the air as David slides under a sedan, wrench in hand, his fingers moving automatic over the bolts. His co-worker Pete leans against the workbench, sipping coffee from a chipped mug, his voice cutting through the din. "Where you been, man? 3 days, no call. We thought you ditched us." David slides out, wipes his brow, laughs sharp. "What are you talking about? I was here yesterday. Fixed that Ford with you." Pete frowns, sets the mug down, his eyes narrowing. "Dude, that was Sunday. It's Wednesday now. Check your phone." David pulls it from his pocket, the screen cracked but alive, the date glaring back, October 25th, Wednesday. His stomach drops, a cold knot tightening deep, his mind racing back. Sunday night, the stars, the flash, then this morning, nothing between, 3 days gone, erased, clean. He brushes it off, forces a grin, claps Pete on the shoulder. You're messing with me, too much coffee, huh? But Pete shakes his head, voice low. We called, man, went by your place, truck was there, you weren't. David's grin falters, his hands fidgeting with the wrench, the metal cool against his skin as he turns back to the car, tightening bolts harder than he needs to, the ache in his head sharper, a faint hum lingering in his ears, soft but persistent, like static he can't shake. He finishes the shift, jokes with the guys, his laugh hollow, eyes darting to the clock, the minutes dragging slow, the hum growing, threading through the noise of the garage, his name woven into it, David. He blinks hard, rubs his temples, tells himself it's exhaustion, drives home under a sky turning bruised purple, the stars hidden behind thick clouds, the highway stretching empty and dark. He steps inside, drops his keys on the counter, there, clink loud in the silence, the house colder, quieter than it should be, the air heavy with a damp chill he doesn't remember. He grabs a beer, pops it open, but the taste is off, flat and metallic, stinging his tongue as he forces it down. The can slipping from his hand, rolling across the floor, stopping at the wall with a soft thud. He stares at the calendar by the fridge, its pages curling at the edges, Sunday marked with a red X, Monday and Tuesday blank, Wednesday circled in pen he didn't write, the date staring back, a gap he can't fill. His chest tightens, breath shallow, heart thudding slow as he flips through his phone. No calls, no texts from those days, just Pete's missed calls, piling up, unanswered. He steps outside, looks at the sky, the clouds parting slow, stars peeking through, one brighter, steadier, hovering low over the fields, unmoving, watching. Sleep comes fitful, the couch creaking under him, blanket twisted around his legs, the hum, louder, curling through his dreams, a white light pulsing behind his eyes, hands, cold and smooth, brushing his skin, a voice whispering soft, David, we see you. He wakes, 7:12 am, the clock unyielding, sweat beading on his brow, the room dim under a gray dawn, his legs itching, a faint burn under the skin of his left shin, red and swollen when he pulls up his jeans, the flesh hard, unyielding, like stone beneath his fingers. He presses it, winces, the ache sharp but dull, a foreign weight he can't explain, the hum buzzing faint in his ears, his name threading through, David. He stumbles to the bathroom, stares at his reflection, eyes wider, pupils dark, the skin around them tighter, paler than yesterday, a stranger peering back, the hum growing, a pressure in his skull he can't shake. He calls in sick, voice rough. Over the phone, Pete's concern crackling through the line. You good, man? You sound off, David mutters. Just tired, need a day, hangs up, drives to the clinic, a squat brick building off the highway, its waiting room stale with the smell of antiseptic and old magazines, the chairs creaking under his weight as he fidgets, the itch in his leg sharper, a pulse beneath the skin. The doctor, a graying man with thick glasses, calls him in, listens as David explains, leg hurts, feels weird, started today. He rolls up his jeans, the doctor's fingers probing the spot, cool against the heat of his skin, his brow furrowing. Something's here, hard, not muscle or bone. They take an X-ray, the machine humming low, its click echoing in the small room, the film sliding out, the doctor holding it to the light, his voice dropping, metal, a plate, triangular, embedded deep, edges too clean for an accident. David's stomach lurches, a cold wave rolling through, his hands trembling as he stares at the image, the shape stark against the gray of his bones, alien and precise. The doctor scribbles a referral, mutters, see a specialist. This isn't my field. But David leaves, the paper crumpled in his fist, the hum louder, a vibration in his chest, his leg, the plate warm now, pulsing faint under his skin, a rhythm he can't ignore. He drives home, the sky darkening fast, the star brighter, closer, hanging low over the fields, its light steady, unblinking, a weight pressing against his eyes. He sits on the couch, stares at the wall, the calendar mocking him, 3 days gone, the plate throbbing, the hum weaving through his thoughts. David, we know. He grabs his phone, searches for answers, finds a local hypnotist, a woman named Clara, her ad promising clarity, her number scrawled in bold. He calls, voice shaky. I need to remember something. Can you help? She agrees. Her tone calm sets. An appointment for the next day, the hum buzzing louder as he hangs up, the star outside pulsing in sync, a beacon he can't escape. He barely sleeps, the couch damp with sweat, the blanket twisted tight, the hum a constant drone, the light flashing faint behind his lids, hands brushing his skin in dreams, smooth and cold, voices whispering, "You'll see." Morning comes, 7:12 a.m., the clock unyielding, his leg aching, the plate hotter, a steady thrum beneath the skin, as he drives to Clara's office, a narrow building tucked between a diner and a pawn shop, its windows dark, curtains drawn tight. She greets him, her voice soft, eyes sharp, leads him to a room lit by candles, their flames flickering faint, shadows dancing across the walls, a recliner in the center, its leather worn but soft. He sits, hands gripping the arms, the hum buzzing in his ears, her words slow, "Relax, breathe, go back to that night." She counts down, her voice fading, the room blurring, his mind slipping deep, the hum swallowing him whole. He sees it, Sunday night, standing on the porch. The stars bright, the flash cutting through, white and searing, the hum shaking the air, his feet lifting, the ground falling away, his body weightless, pulled upward, the light blinding, a pressure clamping his chest. He's inside a chamber, walls smooth and gray, curved like glass, but hard cold under his back as he lies on a table, metal gleaming faint under a sterile glow, the air thick, buzzing, alive. Shadows move around him, tall and thin, limbs too long, head smooth, eyes black and endless, staring down, unblinking, their presence a weight in his skull, a voice, not heard but felt, pressing into his thoughts. "David, you're ours." His arms won't move, pinned by nothing, his legs heavy, the light sharpening, a tool in their hands, thin and glinting, hovering over his shin, a sting, sharp but distant, metal sliding under skin, clicking into place, the hum peaking, drowning. His screams, their eyes locked on his, empty and cold, they lean closer, faces smooth, featureless, save for those eyes, the voice deeper. We watch, we know, fingers brushing his arms, his face, smooth and frigid, leaving trails of numbness on his skin, the light pulsing, searing his vision, burning the edges of his mind. He sees himself reflected in their gaze, small and still, a specimen under glass, his breath fogging faint, their hands moving, precise, unhurried, the plate locking tight, a piece of them inside him, the hum weaving through his bones, his blood, his thoughts. The voice shifts softer. "You'll forget, you return," and the light flares, white and absolute, erasing the chamber, the shadows, the table, his mind collapsing into dark, a void that spits him back, the couch beneath him, the blanket twisted, the night gone, 3 days lost. He gasps, jolts awake in Clara's chair, sweat soaking his shirt, breath ragged, the candles flickering low, her face pale, pen frozen over her notepad as she stares at him, voice trembling. "What did you see?" He chokes it out, words spilling fast. "They took me, up there, put this in me, watched me, said they'd watch." She nods slow, scribbles frantic, mutters, memories, buried deep, but real to you, her eyes darting to his leg, the plate pulsing warm, a steady thrum he feels in his teeth, his skull, the hum louder, clearer. "David, we see." He staggers out, the sky darkening, the star low and bright, its light cutting through the dusk, a thread tied to him, pulling tight, the plate alive, a heartbeat not his own. He drives home, hands shaking on the wheel, the highway stretching, dark and empty, the star following, its glow spilling through the windshield, the hum weaving through the engine's roar, his name sharp in his ears, David. He locks the door, checks the windows, the blinds rattling as he yanks them shut, the house cold, the air thick with a faint dampness, the plate throbbing, a rhythm syncing with his pulse, the hum constant, a shadow in his mind. He sits on the couch, stares at the wall, the calendar glaring back, Wednesday now Thursday, the day's steady, but the hum whispers, "We watch," and he knows it's true, the star outside pulsing, the plate warm, alive, a tether he can't cut. He grabs a beer, drinks fast, the taste metallic again, sharp on his tongue, his leg itching, burning, the skin redder, tighter, around the plate, a mark he can't erase. Days blur into routine, work, pulling him back, the garage, loud with clanging tools, Pete's voice cutting through. "You okay, man? Look like hell." David nods, forces a smile, his hands steady on the wrench, the hum softer, a background drone. He's learning to ignore, the plate pulsing faint, a reminder he buries under oil and sweat. He eats dinner, frozen pizza on the couch, the TV flickering with late-night reruns, the star outside dimmer, farther, but always there, a pinprick of light he can't unsee. Friends notice, ask, "Where you keep disappearing to?" And he laughs, shrugs, "Right here. Where else?" But the calendar shifts Friday to Monday, a weekend gone, Pete's voice sharp on the phone. "You miss Saturday, man? What's up?" David stares at the dates, the gaps growing, the plate warm, the hum whispering, "We see," and he knows, they're still there, watching, waiting, their eyes in the sky, the metal in his leg a bridge they cross when they please. He tries to fight. It stays awake, coffee bitter on his tongue, the TV blaring static, the hum threading through, the star pulsing outside, light slipping through the blinds. White and cold, flashing faint in his vision, not outside now, but inside, behind his eyes, showing him fields, stars, shadows moving high above, their gaze locked on him, unblinking, eternal. He shouts into the dark, "Leave me alone." Voice, raw, echoing in the empty house, the hum pausing, a silence that presses heavier, then a laugh, low and hollow, spilling from the air, the walls, the plate, curling around him. David. He runs outside, stares at the sky, the stars steady, the light fading, the hum retreating, but the plate throbs, a promise. They're not gone, just waiting, their watch unending. Morning comes, he drives to work, the routine a shield, the garage. Loud, grounding, Pete slapping his back. "Good to see you, man, don't vanish again." David nods, laughs, the sound brittle, his hands steady on the tools, the plate warm, pulsing, faint, the hum a whisper he carries, a secret he can't tell. He finishes the shift, drives home, the sky clear, the star low, its light catching his eye. But another car passes, its driver glancing up, face pale, eyes wide, the star shifting, hovering over them now, the hum fading from David's ears, a new name threading through the air, Jake. He pulls over, watches the car vanish down the highway, the plate cooling, the hum silent, but a laugh lingers in his head, low and sharp, a sound he knows, a weight he'll carry, alive, unchanged, but marked, waiting for the next gap, the next light, the next name called into the dark. Epilogue. Jake pulls into his driveway, steps outside, stares at the sky, a flash cutting through, white and blinding, the hum rising, his name sharp, Jake. David sits on his porch, beer in hand, the plate cold, the star gone, but the laugh echoes faint, a shadow in his thoughts, the calendar counting days he doesn't trust.